All right, so I may have to push you guys up. There we go. Perfect. Now you're in the shot. All right, so now we are live. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. This is Joan T. Randall, speaker, author, transformational coach, and the producer and host of the upcoming Victorious You Conference, which is taking place here in the Queen City, Charlotte, North Carolina on October 5th and 6th. As you guys know, I've been talking about this conference for an entire year, and it's right here. It is like 2 days away, and we are sold out of tickets, period, the end. Tickets are over. We sold out of our VIP tickets a few weeks ago, and as of today, we are sold out of general tickets. So that is what it is. And I'm really honored and just blessed to have these amazing people right to my left, to my right, wherever, however you're watching us. They're on one side of me, and I consider these people not only friends, but confidants. They are truly special in my life and the life of my family, and I applaud them for what they do. So you're going to hear a little bit more as I turn it over to them in a couple minutes, but I just wanted to remind you guys, if you have a ticket for the Victorious You Conference, we are looking forward to seeing your beautiful face in the building. If you're a VIP ticket holder, we want to see you at 12 noon on Friday. Yes, we start at 12 noon on Friday, and we go all the way till 9:30 at night. If you are a general ticket holder, then we will see you at 7 a.m. bright and early for registration, and we go all the way through 6:30. This is a conference. This is not a workshop. So conference means conference. You go and you expect, the expectation is that you're going to be there for the long haul and the long run. You're coming to get, you know, people pouring into you. So that's what that is all about. So I'm excited. So nice to see you, Vanessa. Great to see you. Amy, how are you? Great to have you join us. Amy, I can't wait for you to be there in your ambassador role and just wow all of our attendees. So thank you guys for joining us. So listen, I have Pastor Mike and Aimy Steele on with me today. And as I said at the top of this broadcast that, hi, Doreen, nice to see you, that these two are confidants to me. I met Pastor Mike a few years ago when we moved, not too long after we moved to Charlotte, my family and I, and we instantly became really good friends. And his wife, Amy, is just a machine. I'm telling you, she's a machine. And when she starts to talk, she will tell you, you will hear. As I said to her earlier, she's the hardest working person I think I've ever known or ever seen. And if I could just take a little bit, just half of a page out of her book, I know that I will be the best of who God has created me to be, because every day Amy strives to be her best. And the same thing for Pastor Mike. And these people have been to my domestic violence workshops. They've been to baby showers. I mean, anytime I pick up the phone and call, they always say yes. And because of that, the reason why this is a special Facebook Live for me is because they were the first to sponsor the Victorious You conference. And that was a big deal. And because of their blessing, Doreen says she loves you. So somebody out there knows you, Amy. And because of their blessing for the Victorious You conference sponsorship, I was able to get 8 additional sponsors for the conference. So that's truly exciting. So without further ado, I want to turn it over to my friends, my confidants, my pastor and First Lady, my soon-to-be elected official, my friends, Aimy Steele and Pastor Michael Steele. Hey guys, how are you?
Good afternoon. Good afternoon. We're doing great.
Yay.
Good to see you today. I hope everyone is doing well.
Thank you. So Amy and Pastor Mike, I'm going to turn the show over to you, and I want you to tell the audience a little bit about yourself and what you do now.
Okay, I'll let Michael start.
All right. Well, good afternoon to everyone. Thank you for tuning in. We are so excited about this conference that our dear friend, sister, our family member, we consider Joan a family member. We are so thankful for the opportunity to be a part of what she's doing. We're just a small part, but we're so excited about it. And I don't think anyone who's going to attend this conference, you're not going to leave and say, I'm glad that that's over. I hate that I spent my money to come to that. You're going to leave in power, and you're going to be saying, I can't wait until the next one. I'm going to, not only can I not wait until the next one, I'm going to bring somebody else with me, because that's just how empowered you're going to be. And then you're going to be ready to be the best you. So I just wanted to say that. And I firmly believe in everything that this young lady does, because I've seen God's hand of anointing be on her and her family. And so I'm so excited to be connected with them. Well, we're so excited to be connected with them. So my company, outside of being a pastor, the Lord led me some years ago to, my wife and I some years ago, to start a marriage ministry. So we've been doing marriage ministry for full time almost since 2005, but we've been doing marriage ministry since before then. Almost a couple years after we got married, we started doing marriage ministry. Our marriage was on the rocks, and we couldn't figure out how to make it work. And so God led us to grab some materials. My wife went to a Bible study, came back. I'm gonna make this short because I don't want to hold you. But my wife grabbed some materials from a Bible study she went to, brought them home, and said, I think we should take a look at this. And it was a book called The 5 Love Languages by Dr. Gary Chapman. We went and grabbed that book, started reading it, and we learned how to love each other. And once we learned how to speak each other's love language, that's the key. We learned how to speak each other's love language. We began to communicate better. And when we communicated better, our marriage got stronger. And that was at year number 5. So this coming January, we'll be celebrating 20 years.
Whoa!
And I know she doesn't look like she's more than 20 years old. I know I got a few gray hairs, so I look a little bit older than that. But anyway, I actually dye it gray. That's why it looks gray. Anyway, we've been doing this for a long time, and we work with over 100 couples on different things, and helping and coaching and doing what we do in regards to couples. And so a couple years ago, I decided that I wanted to brand our marriage ministry. And so our marriage ministry now has the name with my face on it, called the Marriage Guru. And so the Marriage Guru does workshops. We do, matter of fact, last night we had a small group session with several couples. And so we're doing those things. Then we meet with our couples ministry friends. We go to other churches and do workshops and all those things. So I was able to write a book, co-author a book with my wife. And so I have the book, honey. Can you hand me that book? And so I have the book here, and I'll have some copies. Yeah, it's the #1 bestseller on Amazon. We're excited about that. And so you can go to Amazon right now, download a copy, or you can order a copy and have it shipped to your home. Also, I have a workbook that I usually keep with me. So we're excited about those two things. And so our marriage ministry has been propelled to the next level. We've been doing some international stuff, doing marriages outside of the country. So we're excited about that. And, so I'm excited about what God has in store for us. And I can't wait to get to this conference, to be able to share some things with you at our table. Come by and see us. Recently, my wife, she's a brilliant mastermind in regards to business. And so she said, we should do something else. Let's help couples get excited about their romantic life. And so she came to me. We talked about some things. We found a person who does all natural products. And so we recently launched this line called Intimate. And this is
you're bringing that to the conference, right?
Yes. So it's the Intimate line. So we have our own line. There's a scrub there. Well, you can explain this a little bit better?
Sure.
Go ahead.
There are 5 steps. So one of the steps in my husband's book, The 10 Things to Help Your Marriage Today, one of the steps is that you take a shower with your spouse daily, and that increases intimacy and also time with your spouse, so that you can talk and communicate and just really kind of debrief from your day, or just have some intimate time together. So rather than just telling people about the steps, right, we wanted to make it practical. So the 5-step system involves you setting this particular item, which is a shower bomb, not a bath bomb, but a shower bomb, in the shower, and letting it warm the shower. So you turn the water up extremely hot, and you set this on the tub or on the floor of the bath tub of the shower, and then it kind of disintegrates. And then, it warms up the room with the hot water. but then it also gives a fragrance to the room. And so we have passion fruit, we have lavender, and we have pear, and all of those will be available for sampling Friday and Saturday for all of those people who attend the conference. And then the second step is to lather me. So this is where you take some of this liquid soap, and it's all natural, no artificial products. It's amazing what these ingredients do to your skin. And so you take the lather me and you lather up your spouse. And it's an amazing experience. We practiced with this the first day we got it, and it was amazing.
It worked.
The third step is to scrub me. And so this is the lavender scrub. And so you'll scrub your spouse, maybe their feet, your feet, all parts of each other. The third step, or the fourth step rather, is to rub me. And so this is an herbal cream that allows you to heal some of the spots or some of the areas of your body that are a little bit dry. And then it also allows you to really get intimate with your spouse. So this is a point that's kind of leading up to somewhere, regardless of where you want it.
Right.
The last step. This is our amazing last step. This is called Rose is a Verb, massage oil. So I'm going to let that sink in for a second. Rose is a verb. Okay. Infused with real rose petals, and it is an organic oil that you can use to perform massages. So that 5-step system takes you from the shower to the bedroom and just provides an intimate setting. So it's called Into Mate because you're into your mate. And so these will be available during the conference, the entire conference.
I love that. And Aimy, you guys get 5 minutes on the main stage on Saturday to talk about whatever it is you want to talk about. So I know 5 minutes is not a long time, so you can talk about either that or whatever it is you want to talk about. But I think that will be pretty interesting for everybody that's attending. So they would want to hear about it. Awesome. So Aimy, you just explained all about the bath stuff, but you have your own business separate and apart from the Marriage Guru. I want you to share a little bit about Reach Consulting.
Okay, so here's my logo right here. This is Reach Consulting. My husband's also wearing his logo, Marriage Guru. And so Reach Consulting, I started the company as just a standard company called Middle and High School Scholarship Program about 20 years ago, maybe 19 years ago. And I started it just out of the necessity to help students have access to college, to scholarships, and to methods to pay for going to college if that was their choice, as well as to help them on their career choices and things of that nature. What I learned from this experience about 15 to 20 years ago was that kids really lacked that one-on-one help, right? So they have help in their guidance offices in their schools, but they need help all year long, and they need it to be consistent, and it needs to be one-on-one. So I thought, what can I do to kind of expand this reach? Because when I was in high school, I had a guidance counselor who took me under her wings. Her name was Wendy Paroli. And she showed me how to navigate the guidance office, the scholarships, how to get to college, and how to write my essays and how to really access that field. And when she did that, it led to me earning $775,000 worth of scholarship offers when I was in high school. Wow. So part of my company was born out of the belief that if you want to go to college and not have to pay for it or pay a lot for it, then you can do what I did, which is devote yourself to applying to scholarships. So I created the company out of the necessity of that. I also was a teacher. I'm a Spanish teacher by trade and former school administrator. And I saw kids constantly needing access to this type of service, but never having access to it. And so I relaunched my company about 3 years ago under the umbrella of Reach Consulting, which is centered around a song by Gloria Stefan called Reach. She performed at the 1996 Olympics in Atlanta, Georgia, for the athletes and for the audience to help them reach higher. So I help students reach higher. So our services include ACT and SAT prep, essay writing for colleges, also college application processes, and we help students apply for hundreds of scholarships a year. So it's a very wonderful company, not just because I'm the CEO, but because it really does help the students. And that's what, those are my primary audience. That's who I fight for. Yeah. So I'm very excited about what we do. We do conferences, we do boot camps for students so that they can have access to all of these materials and resources. And we also provide information in Spanish to our students who speak only Spanish as their primary language or speak it as their primary language and need access to resources, even though they faced various issues with immigration and with some of the policies that prevent them from accessing higher education. So that's my company.
Wow, that's amazing. And I've known students that have benefited from your program.
Yes.
So it's an amazing program. So with all of that amazing thing that you are doing, I want you to give a plug for what you're doing also from the political perspective. I can't have this conversation with you without you just saying something for a few minutes.
Okay, awesome. I'd love to talk politics for a few minutes. So my next journey is actually I left my job in June of this year so that I could run for office full time, and I still have my company, but I'm running for the North Carolina House of Representatives District 82, which is in the west side of Cabarrus County. And the reason I'm running, one of the primary reasons, is to be able to be a voice for education, especially public education, to make sure that our students, our teachers, and parents and community members have an advocate in Raleigh fighting on their behalf for appropriate funding, for necessary resources, and for the respect that our profession deserves. Because, you know, we all are working together to build community. My husband builds marriage communities and people in the community. I build students in their community. And so if we all work together from a policy perspective, we can make laws and policies that will help everyone. And that's why I'm running. So the election is November 6th. I encourage everyone to vote. Get out and vote, donate, you know, call a friend, take 5 to 10 people with you, because Campaign Steele is a grassroots effort, and we have to have your support and your volunteerism and your donations.
Yes, absolutely. So if you're in this county, the Cabarrus County, if you're in North Carolina, get your people, rally up the troop, and make sure you're voting for Aimy. I mean, she is tough as steel, and that really and truly is the truth. So Aimy and Mike, I know that I had a conversation with you. Aimy, I just ran into you at Panera one day, and I had a conversation with you about the conference, and we talked about a few things, and I, you know, talked to you about the sponsorship, and you never hesitated. You went right in and said, I'll sponsor you. Why did you make that decision? I'm curious. I mean, I think I know, but I'd love for you to share why you made that decision.
Well, I've always been, and my husband's the same way. We've always been supporters of you, right? And of everything you do. But more so than that, I appreciate your passion for excellence, because to me, that is the only emotion allowed in business, is a passion for excellence. And I could feel it in your voice. I could see it in your persona. And you were so passionate, so dedicated, so motivated that your passion was contagious. And so I said, okay, I've got to help. Yeah. And so when I see people, I'm passionate about the things that I'm passionate about. When I'm not passionate about it, you will know, because my countenance will say it, my body language will say it, as will with most people. But when I saw you and you were so committed and you were just like, okay, and this is what it's going to be, and here's the vision, and here's the layout. I don't have any sponsors yet, but I know that's going to change. That sold it for me. I was like, oh, wait, we have to be first. And not because we wanted to be first, but because your passion made the decision for me. So my encouragement to you, to everybody, is go after what you feel is your complete passion. Don't show up to a situation and give half of your best self. You show up with your passion, and other people will follow you in your dream and your passion and your excitement. They will follow you to the next step.
Absolutely.
But if you don't show up authentically you, and you show up doing someone else's dream or someone else's vision, then it won't work. You have to exude that passion. And when you did that day in Panera Bread, I was like, oh, okay, yeah, we're good.
Yeah. It was awesome. And, you know, I got that today because I was on a radio show today, and they asked me one question about the conference, and I just went off. Yeah. I just like went off, and they just sat there, they're looking at me. And I guess I was answering their questions. I had no idea that I was answering their questions with what I was saying. So the guy looked down and he goes, what do we ask her? It was just like, you know, and I love what you say, what you're talking about, passion. And for me, passion is one thing. Being committed to what you're passionate about is another thing. Because if you show up halfway, or if you show up some days and not on other days, people won't buy into what it is that you're passionate about, because they're expecting that you're going to show up every day. And the day you don't show up is the day they're looking for you. And they're like, where did she go? So I have learned that being committed and being consistent with the passion really will take you to a whole different level, you know, because it gives credibility to what it is that you are, you know, what you're passionate about. So, wow. Absolutely. And yeah, I want to say hello to some folks that I have on. Hey, Rhonda, I love it. Great to see you. Hi, Lexi. Lexi says, go after your passion, give it everything you've got, and others will follow. Amen. Hi, Lynn Gainey. Great to see you. Diane, I love that you're here. Doreen knows Dr. Aimy Steele. So my cousin Mike is here. And DeQuincy Goins. Hi there, sis. How are you? So thank you for joining us. And for those of you watching the replay, please just do a hashtag replay. Share this out, share this broadcast out, because Aimy and Michael Steele will be at the conference both days, Friday and Saturday, because they were my first sponsors and they are my VIP sponsors. I'm so excited to have them there. Pastor Mike and Dr. Aimy, if I was to add, and I like that, I love calling you Dr. Aimy. You deserve it. You work hard. I know, I saw that. Dr. Steele and Dr. Steele. Whoa.
Yes.
So, I love it. I love it. You guys are like such an inspiration to me. Listen, guys, I'm passionate about these two people. I'll tell you why. We did a radio show together, right, Pastor Mike?
Yes,
I had a radio show.
Yes, we've been together.
To be on the radio show. Then Pastor Mike wanted to write a book. I said, Pastor Mike, let's do it. Pastor Mike did it and got, you know, between him and Aimy, got their book to bestseller, which was amazing. International, his book has gone over the world, right? So it's an international. Aimy introduced me to the person who did my website. And so when I tell you we have a lot of connection, we really do. And it's just incredible how year after year after year, these two amazing individuals show up in my life and make me a better person as a result of just being connected to them. And when I watch Aimy work and how passionate she is and how consistent and committed and dedicated she is, and she's a no-nonsense person, I love it. I love it. And I strive to be like that. These are the people that you want to have in your circle. And this is the level of individuals that will be at the conference, right? So that they can pour into you, because although they're not speakers, they will be there to connect with every attendee, every speaker, everyone that shows up to the conference. Both Pastor Mike and Dr. Aimy Steele will be there for you to connect with and have conversations with. And they're going to be offering their books and their services and their intimate products, products. So that's exciting. Next question. If I had to ask you 3 things that you would want to leave with anybody that's watching, and Aimy, you can give 2, Pastor Mike, you can give 1, however you want to break it up. But 3 things that you can leave with this audience about what does next level mean to you, what it means to be your best self. And when you hear the word like victorious, what does that mean for you?
Okay, so for me, the next level means one word. It means intentional. Intentional. However that looks for the person that's listening to this, intentional means to me that you're doing something on purpose. Nobody gets to that next level without it being on purpose. It doesn't happen on accident. You're not going to just wake up one day and you're there. Anybody that you see on the next level, those persons have put in time and effort. They have put in energy. They have not always succeeded. And, you know, we don't believe in losing in our house. So we believe in either you win or you learn, right? Nelson Mandela was famous for saying that. But we don't believe in losing. So we believe in sometimes you're going to come in second place. Sometimes you're going to come in third place. But you're always going to win. You're always going to learn. You're always going to grow. And so being intentional about it makes the major difference. Matter of fact, to me, it makes all the difference in the world. The only reason that we still have a marriage, we're intentional about it. The only reason Amy is able to do this business that she has, the business that I have, we're intentional about it. The only reason that she's able to run for office, we're intentional about it. The only reason that we're seeing Joan's success, she's intentional. So anybody that's coming with us, coming behind us, we want to see you at the top. There's room at the top. So come on with us. Let's all go to the top. Amy?
I love it. Preach, Pastor Mike. Preach.
I would just echo the intentionality with purpose and perseverance. I'll start with purpose because, once people identify their purpose, and I do this with students every day, when you identify with your purpose, no one can take that away from you, but you have to be married to your purpose. And your calling and your purpose is above all else, right? It's above all else because that's what God intended for you. And so you have priorities, you have things you have to shift around, but your deepest connection with yourself and which allows you to show up as your best self is identifying your purpose, because that's why God put you on the earth.
Yeah.
Once you do that, then comes perseverance, because a lot of people drop out. They drop out of their own purpose calling. And I don't care if you were called to speak, called to write, called to minister in this capacity, that capacity, people drop out like flies.
Yes.
And it's because they don't have perseverance. And if you would just adopt and just kind of marinate on the fact that perseverance is everything, there's really not a substitute for going after what it is that you want to do and not getting stopped by the stumbling blocks. Michael and I have stumbling blocks. I'm not even going to say daily. We have stumbling blocks by the minute. Okay. Yes. Even at this very moment, while we're sitting here, we have stumbling blocks that we are overcoming that, are in our lives before us. We have a child at gymnastics. We have a child at work. We have a child in college. We have a child at football practice that we need to go pick up. We have another child downstairs being very quiet and patient. So all of those things, would not stop us from being on here with Joan.
Right.
Because our purpose and our calling has to be intentional in our lives.
Yeah.
And so we work around our purpose and our calling to get life done. And many people put life before their purpose and before their calling, and they try to get life done. And then they make excuses for why they're not going after their purpose or their passion. And we don't do that. We have it in reverse. And God is at the forefront, guiding the passion, guiding the calling, guiding the purpose.
Yeah.
And perseverance is everything, as Rhonda stated. It is everything that comes after. So those are my two things.
One more thing can I throw in there real quick? Your vision, the vision that God gave you will take you to the next level. And don't be afraid to go for it. Don't be afraid to reach for it. As one of my pastor friends just said, if your vision is not bigger than you, then you really not seeing the vision that God has given you. Your vision is not just about you.
Come through, Pastor. Come through with that.
Vision is being done the right way, then you're going to see other people around you grow. You're going to see them succeed. And when your vision is only about you, it's not a vision. It's a vice. Don't allow you to become a vice. And that's all I'll say about that.
You know what? I love that you're talking about vision and purpose and all of that because, and I think you guys may know this, but 2016, I tried to do my first conference and I planned it for a year, all set. 2 months before the conference, I bought my ticket to go to Jamaica to get the conference done, and it was stolen from me. The whole conference, all of my intellectual property, everything that was it. So I ended up not going, and I told myself I was not going to do a conference. But I said, all right, 2017, looking at it a different way, putting different things in place so that nobody can just take my stuff again, right? But what happened? I ended up getting sick. And Pastor Mike, because you came to the hospital to pray with me. And I was in a bad state when you came to the hospital to pray. You know what I mean? Because the doctors didn't even know if I was going to make it because they could not find what was wrong with me. So I had to cancel the conference. The average person would have said, I failed in 2016. I couldn't do it in 2017. I'm not going to do it again. Because that fear, that limiting belief that is in your mind, although God gave you the vision, Sometimes fear and limiting belief limits you from moving forward, but I didn't. I needed it to happen. I was passionate about it happening. And then God had placed these incredible people in my life that was able to assist me with birthing the vision. And that's why we're here today. And it's happening. The third time is a charm. It's all about the divine, the divinity. So here we are. And Lynn said it right. God's timeline. Rhonda said, Pastor, preach it. I love it. Yeah. And Rhonda also said your vision is not about you. I love that. If your vision is about you, it's a vice. Wow. That is deep. That is really, really deep. I love that. I love that. Oh my goodness. So, Pastor Mike, you kind of started at the beginning of this broadcast and talked about why people should come to the conference. But I want to turn it over to you again and maybe ask Dr. Aimy Steele to say, why do you think people should be at this conference?
You want to go?
Oh, to me or to him?
Pastor Mike kind of talked a little bit at the beginning, but I'm turning it over to you.
Gotcha. Okay. That's what I thought. Okay, so, and I think we just kind of touched on this. If you know your purpose, then you need to come to the conference because the conference needs you. If you know your calling, come to the conference because the conference needs you. If you don't know your purpose or your calling, come to the conference because you need the conference. So I always tell people, you go to the conference for many reasons, but they're different every time. But you still have to go and you still have to show up. You don't know what nugget is waiting on you. It may be in the commercial break with the ads and the sponsors. It may be with a vendor and a conversation with him or her. It may be with the guest speaker. It may be with other people who are attending. You really don't know. But oftentimes we feel like, oh, we've arrived at a particular place. You know, I've gone to conferences before. I don't need to go to this one or that one. If you intentionally look for the prints of what the handprints of what you are supposed to learn from that particular conference, you will get something every time. It's all about your perspective and how you show up. If you show up defeated, as if you're not going to learn anything, you won't. You really won't, because you've already told yourself. So your brain conspires to make sure you don't learn anything. It's very simple. If you show up saying, I'm going to have a great time, I'm going to learn something, I'm going to meet a new friend, and I'm going to buy something from a vendor, or I'm going to interact with a vendor, and I'm going to get my business started and learn from him or her about how I can grow my company. Then when you show up, you will learn every single thing you set forth. So you got to bring your notebook, you got to bring a pen, or come and get a pen or a notebook. I don't know what's included in the gift bags, but you want to always show up with your intentionality. If you do not show up ready to get something, you won't. That's a guarantee.
Preach. Preach.
If you I could just lay back and just like let you do the whole thing. You could just like
I'm your number one advocate. If you show, well, besides Bill, but if you show up ready to learn, you will learn that you intend to learn, plus so much more. And I get so excited about mindset because, you know, as an educator, as a teacher, a principal, we talk to kids all the time. And I literally have more conversations about what are you telling yourself, not what can you do or what can't you do or what you have learned or had not learned. What are you telling yourself you can do? My mom taught me early on. My parents had me when they were 14 years old. So by all statistical reasons, I should have been either A, aborted, or B, living on the streets and maybe recycling this life cycle, right? And my husband's mom had him when she was 14. So, you know, we were born to teenage moms. So we are like statistically an anomaly right now, but God.
They call us a mistake.
People call us a mistake, but we are no mistake. We are
absolutely
intentionally here.
Absolutely.
But statistically, we should not be here. And what I tell people all the time is, no matter what, you know, I am supposed to be here. And every day God shows me a reason why I should be here. So you can't show up with excuses like, oh, well, you know, it's a hot day. I'm not going to go and do this for my business or this for my life or this for my purpose. You just don't get to do that. So that's why you should come to the conference, and I'll see you there.
Can I just tell you that just blew my mind. It blew my mind right there. Oh my goodness. I love that. That was great. Rhonda White says, Lady Steele preached that word, help us all to get out of our own way, because sometimes we stay in our own way. And you're right. It's all about perspective. What are you telling yourself?
Yeah. And you know what? My mom taught me early on. She said, you can do anything, you can be anything, but God has to strengthen you. But you can be and do anything you want to do. And even from a young age, she knew to tell me that. So now when people say, oh, you're running a race of a lifetime, you won't ever win. I'm like, well, you don't know my mama and you don't know my God. So actually I can't.
Oh, yeah.
You don't know. So
yeah, you know, and I love how you talked about being in the room because you don't know who you can be connected with. I always say that success has 3 principles: knowledge, access, and community.
Yes.
Right. So you have to be the resident expert, at least have some knowledge as to what you're providing, whether it's a service or it is goods, whatever it is, you need to know about it. Right. Just like how you know about the into your mate things. They can tell us what it means. Right. And then access. Coming to a conference or going to a conference, you're brushing shoulders and elbows with people who may know the person, who may know the other person. That's going to be the impact in your life. That's going to have the answer to your dream, to your questions, to your problems, right? Sitting behind a computer screen and watching webinars after webinars is not going to get you access.
Exactly.
You only get access when you're connected to people that are like-minded, that are all together in a place where they have a goal, and their goal is to grow, is to get to the next level, is to achieve success, is to be victorious, is to achieve and live their dreams, right? And then community, being a part of a conference, you're going to walk away with, you know, business cards and new connections and building relationships based on just coming to that conference. So I love how you just put that all together and wrap it up and tie it in a nice purple bow. The Joan T. Randall Victorious You Conference.
Yes.
And Lynn, my friend, says iron sharpens iron, and that is true.
Yes.
That is so true. So I'm truth, right? So I just want to give you guys any last word before we wrap this up.
You don't want to miss this conference. You do not want to miss this conference. You don't want to look back and say, I wish that I had. You want to go and be able to look back and say, thank God that I did. And so you will honestly, you'll find your best life. You'll get the connections that you need. The degrees of separation are gone. They're out the door. You're going to meet somebody that's going to be able to help you get to the next level once you're there. So please do everything you can. Press your way, get there. You're going to have hurdles. Somebody's already having hurdles.
Yeah.
And the reason you're having those hurdles is the enemy doesn't want you to get there. So keep pushing, keep fighting, get over those hurdles, and you'll be one person better for coming to this conference.
And you know, and go ahead, Amy. Go ahead.
Oh, you go ahead, Joan. Go ahead.
No, I was going to say, when you talk about one step, because sometimes God just want to see that you trust him enough to make that one move.
Absolutely.
And that one move, just it becomes like a, what do you call it? Like a
snowball.
A snowball. It's a snowball effect, because you make one move and God just shows up and just add all these and put people in your path, and you're turning around. And I'm telling you, I could have said, I'm not doing the conference.
Right.
The minute I said, God, I'm doing it, the first thing I did was I put a save the date.
Yeah.
And that was how I started to save the date.
Right.
Save the date. I was on a call with my mastermind sisters, and one of my mastermind sisters said something, and I'm like, oh, me, I need you. I need you. And she said, really? And I said, yes. And then that started a whole snowball effect of just, you know, and I have speakers coming from all over the country: California, Atlanta, you know, Boston, Chicago. I have people coming from everywhere.
Right.
Into everybody. So I'm truly excited. This is a labor of love for me. This is my vision. This is my passion. I know that I'm purposed on earth to be able to transform lives. And I think that I'm a modern day Joseph, or that's what I call myself.
There you go.
Yeah.
I've been tossed out and thrown out and been in the trash and had trash bags and all of this other stuff, you know, being homeless and all of that. And I'm here as living proof that it's all about the mind. If you can tell yourself that I own my power,
Yeah.
I own what's up here. And what I think, that's who I become.
Who I am. Yes.
Yes.
Right. And if I can think it, I can do it.
Yeah.
Right.
And if I can do it, I'll achieve whatever it is I want to achieve. So thank you so much, my favorite couple, for coming on. I really wanted to do this interview with you guys, although we kind of went back and forth on the dates and time. But listen, God never makes a mistake, and it is
absolutely
the right time. It is the right day. It is the right hour. And I really do appreciate you guys' support over the years. I mean, again, you show up to everything that I do, and we appreciate you. And you are our family. And so if you're watching us for the first time, or you just might popped on and so you missed the first part of this conversation with my VIP sponsors, Aimy and Michael Steele, I would tell you to go back and watch the, from the beginning. And then for those of you who are watching the replay, we thank you as well for watching. And so I'm excited. The Victorious You Conference goes live at 12 noon on Friday, October 5th. We are literally sold out of tickets, just sold out. Awesome. We are set and we are ready to have a good time. Thank you for everyone that joined me on the live today. May God bless you. Continue to watch here. I won't have a Victorious You TV on Monday. I'm taking a break after the conference.
Well-deserved break.
Yes, but I'll be back the following week. Aimy and Michael, thank you so much. I love you guys. And I honor you. You guys are amazing. And just thank you for supporting me and being my first sponsor. Because as a result of you guys, I was able to add an additional 8 sponsor to the conference. And that is really amazing, as you know, for my first conference. So
we are so thankful.
God bless you. I can't wait to see you. And we will talk soon. Bye, everyone. Thank you, guys.
Bless you.
Bye.